So now comes the really fun part. Joining us today is a good friend, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who is doing a great job, who invited us here. Mr. Speaker, thank you. We are in the Rayburn Room.
This is the Rayburn Room. Right outside, right through that door is the House chambers. And this is the Rayburn Room. Normally when we're in session, this is where members would be in meeting in between votes.
Well, you were very kind to invite us here. And you have some kind of announcement to make?
Well, it's not your birthday, but it's your present. H.R. 1 is going to be the Lower Energy Act. Because what we're doing here is, you're right, the only way you can really curb inflation, you got to lower energy costs. You named all the different things energy has, but there's more to it. It's not just energy that we're going to do, because we need to double all the above what we're producing today. But we need to not just be energy independent, this is about exporting too, to our allies. We should make China dependent on our natural gas, because you know what would happen? The world would be cleaner. Our natural gas is 41% cleaner than Russian natural gas, but it's also the permitting. So what's interesting, they passed that infrastructure bill. They won't be able to build anything unless we get a permitting bill through. If they want renewables, they can't put a new windmill in. They can't put a new solar facility in if they not get permitting. But America, God has blessed us. We are abundant in energy. I don't know why we don't use it. It would lower the cost, which would help lower inflation, because it'd lower the price of everything you think about, from food on down. It would give people more cash on hand. It would create more jobs in America that are good paying. It'd be good for our environment. There's no downside to this, just upside all the way through.
I mean, we could be talking about oil, natural gas, pipelines, I presume.
You've got to have pipelines. That brings in safety. You talk about these train wrecks. You know, you don't want to be moving energy on trains. You want to put them in pipelines. It's a safer process. Right now, when you look in Pennsylvania, you look at the shale out there and you want to produce more natural gas, they're not drilling anymore because they don't have any more pipelines to send it.
Refineries.
When's the last time we built a new refinery? And when you build a new refinery, you know what happens? It's cleaner. It has new technology. It's more efficient. We have an ability to produce more when we do that.
How about stuff like, I mean, this is the odd thing about all the global warming people, but a good permitting bill, it seems to me, you'd open the door towards the mining of minerals and resources for the electric cars and the batteries?
You have to have that. So this opens up mines as well. But I want you to think about this for one moment. Because America was doing the opposite direction, China controls 95% of the processing of critical minerals. They control 90% of minerals, critical minerals themselves. Why would we do that if America is abundant in it? Why would we do that when God has blessed us with it? So we're going to open it up in an environmentally sound, safe way that we can mine, that we can produce more electric cars, but not be beholden to China or any other country. Let's produce it here in America.
So basically, you and your team, we're going to have Majority Leader Steve Scalise on in a few moments. You and your team, the new Republican House, are putting together this compilation of bills, and it'll come under H.R. 1?
H.R. 1. There's 3 different committees that have been working on transportation. You got Energy and Commerce with Cathy McMorris Rodgers. You got Bruce Westerman, who's been an expert on this, that's been able to do it. All 3 of them will start having their markups. Some have already. It'll become into one bill. Later in the month, we'll be able to pass it as H.R. 1 and make a very good point. And for everyone who sits back there and says, oh, you just have the House, you can't pass anything, I just signed the displeasing of ESG, but we passed the House and for that regulation, and the Senate, which was bipartisan. Tomorrow I'm going to sign the bill to make sure D.C. doesn't decriminalize everything. Now the president said he was going to veto, is now going to sign it. So you know what? When you make good legislation with strong ideas and the American public gets involved, it becomes law.
You've had, just on this point, I want to get to the budget nonsense in a minute, but people are now writing about, you've had bipartisan support for all these bills. Lots of Democrats in the House. 30 Democrats in the House on one bill. I think that was the ESG bill. 50 some odd Democrats on the D.C. crime bill, for example, and it's spilling over into the Senate as well.
Yeah, you got to first pass it here, and then the Senate. 81 people in the Senate voted for our crime bill. And now think about this. We had 146 Democrats join us to create the Select Committee on China.
Ah, right.
Right? We also had a number of Democrats join us to stop the SPRO, the Strategic Oil Reserve, selling that to China. I mean, of the 28 bills we passed here, 24 of them were passed bipartisan.
So the idea a couple of months ago from the mainstream media that the Republicans in the House were completely split, never get anything done, kind of sounds to me like the Republicans in the House are not only driving great legislation and getting Democratic support, but it's the Democrats who are badly split.
Oh, have you heard what they said about President Biden? They're upset with him. He told them he wouldn't support the bill. Now he wants to sign the bill. They're fighting among themselves. Look, I love being underestimated, and we'll just keep moving all the way through. Doing singles and doubles, and in the end, we'll have a lot more runs to make America stronger.
I love that. Let's turn to this crazy budget, which you've already tweeted today is an unserious document. It is an unserious document. It's a ridiculous document, $5 trillion. It's a document that will crash the economy, slaughter small businesses, keep the inflation pressures on. This is Biden at his confrontational worst. This is like not a reset. This is not a Bill Clinton. This is more like Bernie Sanders.
It is more like Bernie Sanders at any time. And the worst part about this, it's so unserious, but it's unserious at the wrong moment in time. You just had the Congressional Budget Office. You know, Larry, we did something that's never been done before. We had Republicans and Democrats get together outside of the chambers. And we normally only do this for classified briefings with something very serious threat to America. Well, I think our debt is a serious threat. So we had the Congressional Budget Office director come talk to us to tell us what the numbers are. Do you know in the next decade, the next 10 years, a couple critical points. All three trust funds will go insolvent. Highway Fund, Medicare, and Social Security will pay more than $10.5 trillion just in interest. And think about this. Since 1940 to today, we've only had to pay $9 trillion in interest. So the last 80 years, we'll pay more in the next 10 years. We are at that tipping point. And you made a good point earlier that he's spending somewhere between 24 and 25% of the GDP, and the 50-year average hovers around 21. But if you look at revenue, we're sitting at 20% of GDP in revenue, thanks to the work that you did on our tax reform. Do you know how many times we've been at 20%? In 1944 and 2000. We normally, a 50-year average, only about 17.1% of GDP coming in. So we have more revenue at any given time, but the problem is he's spending more. It's not a revenue problem, it's a spending. And what does this budget do? Raise more taxes, spends more money, creates probably the biggest government we've ever seen in the history of the United States.
This is, you know, Newt Gingrich was right months and months ago. This really is big government socialism, and he's making no effort to hide the thing at all. It's really quite remarkable. All right, maybe, let me, you may have heard this, the president in Philadelphia. Let me play a quick sound. I don't know if this is an olive branch or not, but I'll let you decide. Let's hear from this, from President Biden.
I want to make it clear, I'm ready to meet with the Speaker anytime, tomorrow, if he has his budget. Lay it down, tell me what you want to do, I'll show you what I want to do, see what we can agree on, what we don't agree on, let's see what we vote on.
All right, you probably heard about this before, but if not, there you have it.
That's my first time.
He said,
you know what?
What do you think?
Well, he's been ignoring me for all these months, which is a waste of time, right? When I did meet with him, I told him two things. I'll never raise taxes, and I won't pass a clean debt ceiling. Because where we're at right now is that you gave your child a credit card and they charged it all the way up. You're responsible. We have to pay it. We have to have a lifting of the debt ceiling. But you want to change your behavior. Because if you don't change your behavior, you have more inflation. The other problem you have is you weaken yourself against China and you hurt your children and your grandchildren. So let's put America on a path. You know what? I told him I would do other things. What about if we put work requirement in? What if we passed H.R. 1 and made America stronger? What if we did something to secure the border so our children aren't dying from fentanyl anymore? You know what? I would weigh that as a savings because America would be stronger for that.
He's gone. It's an odd thing, and we got to check all this out. But basically, he's been saying clean debt bill, clean debt bill. He said he'd meet with you again, but nothing has ever happened.
He's never called back for a second meeting.
Wait, do you think, I mean, will you talk to him this afternoon?
I'll talk to him any day.
I mean, you think he's serious?
Look, our whole government, as you know, is designed to find compromise.
Yep.
Our problem is too big. The election is over. Let's sit down and work through this, but let's be rational about it. Let's be sensible about this. Raising taxes in this economy is wrong. You've got more revenue than any time. Your spending under the Democrats increased by 30%. That's what's put us problems. And now we're at a tipping point at 120% of GDP being our debt. We've never seen this since World War II.
So you have said there will be no debt increase without significant budget savings.
Yeah.
And that's no change.
No change in that.
You think he's going to change? I mean, here's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Maybe he will, but this budget is so in your face. It's so far away from traditional conservative pro-growth principles that it's almost like a bad message.
You know what? I'd love to put his budget on the floor and see how many Democrats would vote with it. They're not going to be behind that.
Right.
And you know what? You hear Chuck Schumer over there, let's pass a clean debt ceiling. He can't pass a clean debt ceiling out of the Senate. Why doesn't he put one on the floor now? So what they really have to realize is they need to sit down and negotiate the way the American public expect us to do and be rational and put a plan that makes us financially stronger, put work requirements in to give people incentive to go back to work, help our supply chain, help our productivity, create an energy policy that lowers the energy price so more companies are created in America, but also the products cost less, and you curve inflation that they created by their one-way spending.
Would you buy him a cup of coffee if he says yes?
I would buy it and pour it for him if he'd sit down and meet.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy, you are wonderful. Thank you. We're very grateful that you invited us.
I'm going to sign H.R. 1, Lower Energy Cost Act, especially to you, so you can hang it on your wall.
Every now and then I get one. You've been great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.